put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. This is the day that the Lord has made and we will rejoice and be glad in it. We are alive and we are well. I am Adana Kombi and today is Tuesday, the 21st day of November 2023. Yes, we are in November, fast making it to the end, and soon, before you know it, it's December. And what happens in December? Of course, we celebrate Christmas. So we're heading into the festive season. Of course, we always want to say thank you guys for staying with us, for joining us, and for tuning in with us here on the morning show. We really, truly appreciate you. You are the reason why we broadcast, so we thank you so much for your support. So we want to say a hearty good morning to all of you here paying attention to us as we bring things to you that concern things that surround Tobago. All right, viewers, as I said, it's Tuesday morning. Of course, we're having a good time here in the studio, and we're going to go straight on over to the news in 90 seconds with Ariana CPU.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, 21st November 2023. Brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile. 16 students from Latin America and the Caribbean have arrived in Tobago for the UNESCO's Protection of Underwater Cultural Heritage Project. The initiative, supported by the International Programme for Maritime Heritage of the Cultural Heritage Agency of the Netherlands, aims to safeguard underwater cultural heritage and align it with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Led by Professor Martin Manders and Dr. Lewis Guy, the Dutch divers will execute the program in partnership with the local authorities and the Kingdom of the Netherlands Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Cornelius Hurspash. Prime Minister Dr. Rowley revealed he was not consulted before the recent change in the CEO of TSTT. Responding to a journalist's question during a press conference, Rowley admitted he is seeking accountability and is awaiting a clear report from the majority government-owned company. Former CEO Lisa Agard was replaced by Kent Weston amid public criticism following a cyber attack on TSTT that compromised customer data. The reasons for Agard's replacement remains undisclosed, and the move occurred weeks after the hack, which was initially downplayed by the company. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley dismissed opposition criticism during a media briefing, emphasizing the importance of securing future energy deals for Trinidad and Tobago's economic stability. He highlighted the country's need for additional supplies for natural gas to meet financial obligations, stating that access to gas is vital for the nation. Rowley urged people to ignore critics questioning the expansion of natural gas production, pointing out global trends and asserting the importance of maintaining competitiveness. His comments followed queries about the outcome of his recent CARICOM Saudi Arabia summit trip, where cooperation on food and energy security was discussed. And that was your news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
This Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prices, cause this season will be the nice day. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price, the most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring me sorry, let me toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills to enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. B-Mobile, life is on.
Thank you, Ariana. That was your news in 90 seconds, sponsored by B-Mobile. Of course, as I said, it's Tuesday morning, and in studio we have with us Mr. Julian Skeet. Good morning, yes, Julian.
Good morning, Adana. You're looking foreign.
Well, I mean,
I trust that the events and the activities were indeed a successful one on the outside there. Good morning to each and every one of you viewers, connecting here. Really a pleasure to be on with you once again. Looking like we're going to be having my kind of weather today. Not too sunny at all. just slightly overcast, not raining or pouring heavy, just in that, that mid area. Just right, just
warm
cool.
and comfortable, cool and comfortable.
Yes, just right,
yes.
just right indeed. Because we're at Tuesday already, and reality is hitting in Tuesday, the 21st of November. Wow. We're almost just about a month away from Christmas.
That's right. I mean,
in terms of the celebration time and the period. But before we go any further, we're heading straight on into our birthday shout-outs this morning.
And celebrating a birthday today, we have Jason Tigger Phillip. It is your birthday, and we want to wish you a happy birthday coming from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television. We do hope that you have a wonderful birthday and that you enjoy your celebrations, enjoy your life, celebrate your life, and give thanks to God for another one.
Birthday blessings, man, according to the t-shirt, Tigger Almighty. All right. And we're also sending birthday shout-outs going out to Monique Fortune. And that's Monique Fortune out there on screen. Monique Fortune. Let me get the pronunciation right. Celebrating a birthday out there. We want to wish you continued blessings coming from the entire Tobago Updates family. And we trust that you continue to enjoy the celebrations as you head on in to the Christmas season. Yes, indeed, our birthday listing is short this morning.
That's right.
But we're diving straight on. Who do we have on the rundown this morning?
Right, I see we're speaking with Orville Dillon. He's the Director of Cruise and Ground Transportation, TTAL. And of course, we're in the cruise ship season. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Tobago's tourism and cruise ship season 2023. So that's what we have. We're also speaking with Rodale Kirk. He is Superintendent TTPS. And of course, we're going to have the updates from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services and the positive influence on our young men. Of course, as we just celebrated International Men's Day 2023 on the 19th day of November. So we want to have a little chat about positive influence on our young men. And then we're rounding up the conversation this morning with Daniel Clark, designer, owner of Fluorescent Black, and Jimel Morton, owner of Empire Vehicle Spa. And they are talking DXL Charity Olympic 2023.
Yes, things to definitely look forward to in the lineup this morning. So, Adana, how has it been?
Well, you call me a foreigner, so now I have to let the people know.
Not foreigner, let me be clear, not foreigner in the sense of not from Tobago, but just probably spending a few days out.
Right. So the purpose of my visit to out there in Grenada was, of course, to celebrate International Men's Day. What we did is that we hosted the very first inaugural regional conference where islands around the Caribbean region came together in one place to celebrate men, where we spoke about issues, the challenges, the things that oppress men. We try to find solutions to these things and to provide support. And of course, notwithstanding, we also had to celebrate all the achievements of men and all the contribution that strong men made in our societies, and encouraging the young boys that there's hope, there's help, and we're trying to change a negative narrative about men, because I believe, and the reason why I was selected and I was so passionate about being on this planning committee is because I believe once a man is empowered, once a man truly understands his power and his authority, then our societies are better, our communities are better, and life is easy for everybody else.
Say no more. I am happy to hear when women speak with that confidence about empowering and really helping our men in such a manner, because very often we just think it's the flip side kind of thing.
Right.
Men supporting women, but there's also that coordinating part that is not just about men exclusively being able to operate in that regard, but critical women also.
That's right.
Providing that support and giving way and really pushing in that direction, even if the women are not at the forefront. I have no challenges making it happen to help our men be able to position themselves. So kudos indeed. And it's good to see around the region this kind of happening, specific at that to men and our young men, because very often, particularly our young men, may be taken for granted.
That's right.
And we're not realizing that, if we don't steer them as early as now, we can end up in a very challenged kind of situation when we try to intervene at too late in the game. So certainly commendations out there, and I think I would have also seen Secretary Pastor Terence Beans.
Yes, there was a Tobago contingent as well.
Right, and also Assistant Secretary Sonny Craig as part of the team, really representing out there and making that difference. So kudos indeed to the entire team out there in the mix, representing. I want to give some shout outs this morning as well to sponsors. Classic Cuts by Aquilon. Yes, he continues to try to make it happen each and every day. Saw me on set yesterday and immediately, all right, you need to come straight in. So certainly shout outs there. Classic Cuts by Aquilon. And that's Aquilon that located out there in Susulands. And remember, you can connect with them on social media to book your appointment. Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Remember to connect with them out there on social media. That's Classic Cuts by Aquilon.
All right, we're going to go to a short break before we head on to conversations with our guests. But of course, viewers, you know that this is your opportunity to do what?
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be back.
You know, who would I ever believe Jessica could take care of a child,
I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik.
Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, you know, when she used to take care of my cousins.
If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling.
But Jessica, you not married?
That doesn't matter once you have a safe home and you're related to the child. You're good.
So they just gave money to do this?
Yeah, they do give me some money.
So, Auntie, you can buy all my game for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up, yes.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you could get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malakay, I'm only going on the bed.
But Mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Light up the Christmas with the best fiber. Surfboard channel switch to Amplia. Thousands in prizes, plenty smart TVs. 1 year free service and free groceries. We surfing with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We been drinking with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive Collection. Now exclusively available at Standard.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch Number 1, the building formerly occupied by Costa. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at Number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, Building 1 and 2.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Are you looking for a
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. I'm Julian Skeet here with you this morning, and we're heading on into this segment just at around 7:10 a.m. And this morning we are speaking with Orville Dillon, and that's Director of Cruise and Ground Transportation at TTAL. And we're speaking about the Tobago's tourism and cruise ship season. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, sir.
All right. So as we get the conversation started, you know, I know we had a little chat just before, and you seem to have a wealth of experience in this area. Tell us a little bit in terms of, you know, how you would define the movement or that growth, you know, of this industry, tourism, the cruise ship industry, to be very specific, within the Tobago space over the years.
Well, I have about 45 years experience with cruise and with transportation also, because I started my personal business in around 1979. So that's plenty years. Okay, the cruise ship season have been grown from stage to stage, you know, because when we started it was the small ships coming to Charlottesville and then a few coming to Scarborough. And from that it keep growing. We have seen a lot of operators, tour operators, during that period, and right up to now, we only boil down to one tour operator. The reason for that is because as it grows, it have an overhead expense. One of the things that changed during the time was the insurance, because you must get an insurance to bring the cruise passengers to Tobago. So over the years that grew, you used to get the insurance. You used to get your own public liability insurance. And once you could have shown the cruise ship people your public liability insurance, they would have given you business. But now the insurance come directly from them, from the Florida Cruise Association. They give the insurance now, because what they are saying, when they use your insurance, if something happens, you take too long to pay. But if they do the insurance and something happens, they pay right away. So with that, the dimension changed. So, you know, we boil down to only one operator.
And in this case, the operator is the person that would normally treat with coordinating, let's say, for example, the maxi associations or transportation in terms of the tours and so on. I just want to make sure that we have it clear for the benefit of our viewers and listeners.
They will get their numbers, you know, the tours that they sell, right? Because we don't know what tours they sell. They will sell different tours to the cruise lines. Right. And when they sell the tours, now then they come to us to say, well, okay, I sell a waterfall tour, I need how many buses? I sell a city tour, which is around Scarborough, they need how many buses? That's how it works.
All right. So again now, just making sure. So when that part happens, the connection is made, is it with TTAL and the THA, or the connection is made directly with these maxi taxi associations?
Directly with the associations that operates on the port.
All right. And how many do we have in the operating in the Tobago space?
We have two operating in the Tobago space. One is Transmax, and the other is Tobago Port Maxi and Taxi Federation.
Right. So prior to this situation that we had happen, you know, unfortunately with the lack of transportation, were there the necessary stakeholder engagements and so on beforehand, planning, coordinating to make sure that all is well and all is in place? How does that occur?
Yes, they do that. The 2 days before the ship arrived, we had a stakeholders meeting to show your readiness, how much ready you are, right? One association said they are 90% ready. The other say they are 50% ready, but they can get up to at least 75% ready if we have another inspection, because the port normally inspect the vehicles that comes onto the port. So right after that meeting was on the 9th. On the 10th, they got the inspection. They inspect buses on the 10th. And on the 11th, you couldn't show.
So in your estimation, you know, as someone being in this industry for some time now, how would you view that kind of challenging situation?
That situation was poor on the other hand of the other association, because it's not the first time that a ship come on Saturday. earlier this year, before the close of the season in April, the 2nd of January, the 14th of January, there were ships on Saturday. And there were more people off the ships on the 2nd and the 4th, and on the 2nd and the 14th, sorry, than what came off on the 11th of November.
Very interesting. So what it appears to be coming down to is that is it that the information was not put out there beforehand? Because you're hearing a perspective coming from the association in terms of you know, the religious commitments. Of course, you have just spoken to that, because we know in the history of cruise ships it's not the first time that is happening on a Saturday. So you'd have had to plan and kind of prepare in that direction. How do you relate to one of the concerns that's raised about normally or trying to augment the supply? What normally happens to ensure that there is sufficient capacity on the part of these associations to meet the obligations?
Well, the ratio there is 50-50. So, like about 2 days before, the tour operator will give you his stores. Say, okay, I need 20 buses, 30 buses. So you know you have to provide your 10 if it's 20, and they have to provide their 10. All right. So you will carry extra. You will carry extra. Extra will be there because it have the one that called the free line, where anybody walk off and you could get business.
Right.
Right. So you will carry more. So everybody knows what they have to do, because they will send you prior to the ship coming. The only time, you know, you get an extra is like on the day, if more people turns up, then you know you have to get extra buses, and that's why you're carrying the extra.
So what then at this stage, because we know what has happened, we have heard the reasoning and the rationale being put out there, what are the implications, you know, for Tobago in particular, or rather those possible implications? And this is only hoping that, you know, we're able to rectify it before.
Yesterday I got what you call the schedule from the port, and they sent one to me showing me some cancellation, and about an hour after they sent another showing me more cancellation. So this out there, it damages our reputation. It damages Tobago. After you go to all these conferences, pay so much money to go to these conferences. One of the things I know, I went to a conference in Miami in April. One of the things that they said to us, please don't let a ship come to your port and you don't have the adequate transportation. Because it's not only the people who will go on the ship they cater for. They cater for tours on the ship. People buy their tours maybe a year before because they want to go on this cruise, and they plan their business, they plan their spending. So, you know, when they get on the ship, they don't have to worry about paying for a tour. It already paid for in the package in every island they go, you know. So they might visit the beach in St. Lucia. So they might come now, they visit the waterfall in Tobago. They wouldn't want to visit the beach in St. Lucia and visit the beach in Tobago. They do different things in different port of call. So we are fortunate to get so many people coming off. In 2019, before COVID, we only have 23 calls. After COVID, we had 42 calls. This season, we have 77 calls. So you see, it keeps climbing. So that means we are doing something good, because all the time it was down there. And as I said to you, the tour operator went in COVID, he was hard hit.
Yes.
And he asked us to hold on for payment. He will pay us. I said, okay, no problem. But the other association, did not like that because maybe, I don't know, maybe they didn't pay their drivers or what the case might be. I don't know. But
that's the one that we were seeing in focus on the
all
TV.
the time.
Okay.
Right. So remember, this guy, the tour operator, he have to pay a platinum membership to the FCCA in order to be in business. COVID hit everybody. And that platinum membership, it costs you like 25,000 US dollars. I'm not exaggerating, that's the cost of it.
Yes.
And he have to meet that demand in order to get these ships to come. Also, you have to meet the demand of the insurance. The insurance is about $20,000. And we, the taxi operators, or we, the association, have to show a public liability insurance too. Because he must show who he's working with and if they have the adequate insurance to transport these people. Because they don't make joke. They spend a lot of money with COVID moving people. They pay out a lot of insurance because, you know, the ships were at one part of the sea and they couldn't get home, so they have to pay.
So just to be clear, have we been hearing from one association or have we been hearing from both associations? I just want to be clear. And if one, who have we been hearing from?
Well, concerning what?
No, in terms of the speaking out in the media. We saw the press conference and so on. Was that representation for both associations?
No, that was for one. Because the other one, I am also involved in Transmax. And it's only now we are saying something.
Oh, okay. In terms of putting your voice out there.
Out there.
In relation to what would have transpired. How do we, you know, from where you sit, you're an active part because you've been involved in this for a number of years from the standpoint of the Maxi Taxi Association and so on. And you're also part of the strategic direction now, you know, with, you know, looking at cruise and ground transport as a director within TTL. How do we strive to correct this? And I want to first look at, are there avenues? Is it that we now need to look at more persons getting involved in the industry, creating routes or avenues for more maxi taxi you know, owners? Let's deal with the internal component first, and then we would look external in terms of what can be done outside.
Yes, we need more buses, more people to get involved. You know, when it had the problem with the cargo star there, I met with the minister.
Right.
Asking for more transportation. The minister agreed to give us more transportation. He also asks a question. Do you all need another ban? Like, you know, we are Route 6, so we are the blue ban.
Right.
So he asks, do you all need another ban? Because I can give you all a checkered ban in Tobago.
Right.
You know, besides the blue ban. But I need you and the next president for the Maxi Taxi Association to sit and have a conversation and tell me what you all want. I met with the gentleman and I indicated to him what the minister said. He said to me, I sent the minister a letter. I said, but I have a meeting with the minister, and this is what the minister said to me. He said, we don't need the checkered ban. We need to continue with the blue ban. And we need about 20 to 25 more rights so that people can get involved. I said, okay, if that be the case, do the letter and leave it by the office, TTL office for me. To date, he never done the letter. So I have to send off my letter. And I sent off my letter saying that we agreed on adding more to the blue ban so that we can get the rights. But remember, I sent off my letter saying that. Remember what the minister said to me, he will still look for the letter from the gentleman. But he didn't do it.
So far we've had to initiate that process in terms of getting more rights to have greater access for the blue bands that we have here in Tobago.
And also I asked him to give us a plate ban for tourism, so you know that this bus
is dedicated.
to tourism.
All right.
He also said yes, he will do it. You know.
All right. And tell us very quickly before we close, from the strategic point, what can be done, what has to be done now in terms of going back out there and seeking to reassure or reaffirm? I'm certain the packages and all those things that happened immediately as a response from the Secretary of Tourism and the THA was good, but I'm certain that that's not enough. What else now has to be done, even if, you know, it may not have been the case of the THA saying we do have enough, but this was an association matter, but now the THA certainly has to take a more direct involvement. How do you seek to recover out there?
Well, we have to go meet them. We have to meet with them. We have to get a team. We have to put a team together, and we have to go out there. We cannot sit here because with the damages already made. So we have to put a team together and to go out there as soon as possible and do what we have to do.
All right, excellent. All right, we want to thank you very much for really bringing some insight and additional information here in terms of giving that perspective. Director of Cruise and Ground Transportation at TTAL, Orville Dillon. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on set this morning. And viewers, we continue to thank each and every one of you. I see we have in the mix this morning Andre McSween, Pearl Murray Beard, Renrick Job, Lisel James, and I also see Lavian Ashby Cupid on the live with us this morning. Marilyn Spence, Joe Field out there in the mix. Good morning to each and every one of you. We want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show and to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. We just at about 7:29 a.m. this morning, and in this segment, we are speaking with Rodel Kirk, and certainly no stranger to us here, Superintendent of the TTPS, some say the big man in the business. All right, and we're speaking updates from the TTPS, and certainly we just celebrated International Men's Day, and we continue to look at that positive influence on our young men coming from the perspective of the TTPS. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Julian, and good morning to your viewers throughout Trinidad and Tobago and the world.
All right, so we get started in terms of looking at general updates. Certainly, criminal activity and the challenges that face us from time to time makes its way to the forefront of our media space. Most recently, hearing about the incident in relation to Works Credit Union, among other things happening in this space. Where are we at as it relates to really getting a grip on the circumstances and also knowing realistically the season that we are now heading into. As I like to say, just as we are busy planning and preparing legitimately to get things that you need for the Christmas season, some are planning and preparing in not so legitimate ways to have themselves a good Christmas as well.
Exactly. What I want to say is that we are in the last quarter of the year. And as you rightly said, that we are about to embark upon the Christmas season, going into Carnival. So what we have done so far, we are now in the process where we have had our anti-crime plans. We are going to roll out that very soon. I think tomorrow evening, we have one of our stakeholder meetings planned with the Scarborough Station Council at the Scarborough Station, and that is to discuss the way forward in terms of the Christmas season. In respect of crime updates, what we have seen recently, we have seen, yes, the robbery at the Works Credit Union. The quick response to the police, so far we have 2 suspects in custody, but the process doesn't stop there. The police are in the evidence gathering process that we speak, and it sometimes takes time, but the police are working on it to bring this matter to a solution. What we want to do is advise persons to be aware, to be self-aware coming up to this period, because we know people or criminals look for the slightest opportunity to pounce upon, unsuspected persons. In terms of persons going into the bank, you have to be aware. Persons going to a shop, you have to be aware. Look out for one another. Look at your vehicles. Look at how you handle cash transactions. Look at it. Because you don't know who is watching at this point in time. And as I rightly say, criminals look for that opportunity to pounce upon you. So we are going to roll out soon. I cannot give all the details as to what is going to take place, but we have our plans in place, and we are going to roll it out coming this week.
All right. Based on where we are at now, in terms of the things like the murder toll and so on in Tobago, higher than normal. Is this receiving the kind of attention required to continue to reassure the population that you need not worry? I've heard persons in the news indicating we're getting to a point where we're getting like Trinidad. I mean, we might be saying it loosely, but concerns in terms of what appears to be rising challenges.
Well, we are not there yet, but what I want to say is that, yes, when you look at the comparative analysis, our murder is on par as to what happened last year. So we had 10 last year with a 70% detection. We have 10 this year with 3 detected, so we had 30%. Notwithstanding that, the others that are unsolved, we are still working on it. As I indicated before here, that a murder investigation is a complex one. So there are many things you need to put in place in order to bring it to that stage where you would seek advice. So it's not that it's been put aside or pushed aside. The officers are working hard in which to bring those murders to solution. In respect to the other serious crimes, although we are right now at a 4% decrease from where we were last year. It's not much to celebrate, but it's at least we are at a decrease. What I want to assure you is that the police are out there, in spite of all the challenges we face. We are out there trying to make this space a safe space. Our major crimes remain that of the break-ins and the larcenies. So we are urging people to secure items, because most of the items that are stolen are items that are just left about in a yard or somewhere, The break-ins, well, those are what we have seen on the rise. We are seeing that churches and schools are being targeted.
Yeah, that was my next area.
And that is something that we want to urge the persons who are in charge of these institutions to not to leave anything to attract. I know instances you see they are going to the schools and they are breaking in offices and stealing cash that are kept on the school compound. I know there was an engagement with some of the stakeholders, and an arrangement was made in terms of treating with that going forward. But we are urging schools and churches not to leave cash on your compound, right? Because for some reason there are some criminal elements out there who see that as a soft target, and they are now, pushing in that direction. So we ask them to put all the countermeasures in which to avoid it. But if it happens, You know, the police are there working. We give you assurance that we will bring those perpetrators to justice, but at the same time, make yourself a harder target, and that is what we are advising.
What's being done in terms of improving that response time? People still have challenges in 2023 that you call the station, you make a report, and no one shows up. Or in certain instances, they show up long after things have already happened. What's being done to improve those kinds of challenges?
You see, I'm not aware of any serious challenges in terms of the police response. But what I can tell you is that when there are multiple things happening at the same time, the police will have to give priority to the most serious and then come down. So you might find, okay, you'll find a crime in progress. The police may respond to that quicker than something that somebody now comes to report to say it happened about hours ago, right? So this is what you may find happening. They may take a little longer to get to that point. However, I am saying that there are systems in place that will ensure that response. And if you call the station direct and it doesn't get that kind of response, call the emergency lines. You know, a greater effort will be made in terms of dispatching the information throughout so that vehicles close by or stations close by will respond, having, you know, once I get that bulletin from the command center. So this is what I urge people to do. Call the emergency lines when something is happening so that you get a greater level of response when the information is shared.
All right, excellent. And we're going a little further now in terms of speaking about that positive influence on our young men. And I like to see this is ideally the softer side of the TTPS and really taking that proactive approach versus waiting to react. Tell us about strides in that area as the TTPS.
It is indeed the softer side. What we have recognized over the past years and months that our men in society are becoming we are almost becoming extinct. When you look at even the statistics, really murders, you will see how many men have been killed on a daily basis. We are killing out our own kind. What we also notice is that we realize a lot of young people now are gravitating to the gang culture. So what we are urging our men in society is to step forward and adopt your role as a positive influencer. Because we wondering why so much young people are gravitating, and not only men, we're seeing young girls who are gravitating to the gang leaders and so on. We are trying to, if we play a role by mentoring our youths, you know, I think that we'll mitigate against these issues or these circumstances where our young fellas are being, you know, recruited into the gang culture. And you know, we are urging our men to join groups that are positive, groups that could put that positive influence on our youths. And we are the police. What we have done, we have urged our station districts to adopt. We're starting at the school level. So to adopt a school in the district, and you will go and, you know, engage that school in terms of, you know, trying to have that influence, not only leave it up to the police, youth clubs and all these other institutions. You go personally, have that engagement with the young ones, you know, and try to be that positive role model in your district so that, you know, that person growing up will see that and tend to, you know, want to inculcate that positivity in their lives. So we have more to do, and not only the police. We are urging persons in society, even like yourself, you know, to use the forum that you are in which to encourage our young people, or young men especially, you know, to move away from that. Because if we leave it to get out of hand, in the next 5 or so years, you will see, and if you look at what is happening now, you will see even within our TTPS in Tobago, if you look at all these stations, you will see all but one is being run by females. And I'm not saying that I'm against the female, you know, coming up or breaking the shattering the glass ceilings, as we see. But I want our men to look at what is happening so that we can also come up to that level as well. So this is where we are really with that concept. Is looking at the gang affiliation. We are looked at that. We are looking at how men, you know, are just not like we're just not getting it in terms of, that development, and positive influence among our youth. So this is why we are adopting that approach, really.
And I like the fact that you've mentioned that balance, because sometimes people misunderstand that we've come for a time where it might have been male dominated. And we've placed so much emphasis on, integrating and involving our women that they've now reached to the highest of heights in terms of commissioner of police and so on, that we don't recognize that we kind of tilt the scale sometimes in the opposite direction. So it's really important to maintain that kind of balance so we see our young men and young women elevating and really protecting and serving. How do you ensure? One of the things I've always made the distinctions with, there are police, and then there are police. And by that, I simply mean there are those who have that understanding that, I'm really there to seek out and to try to encourage and to ensure people comply with the law. But I also add that human touch because I'm dealing with people, protecting and serving. And then you have the flip side that just appears to be, hey, I just here to enforce. I don't want to hear nothing kind of approach. How do we treat with ensuring that we have more, especially in our community and a space like that of Tobago? Because I dare say, and in good faith and hopes, that we are not as extreme as some parts of the world to say that you're required to be that rigid right through. But really, you see the difference in the approach and the touch of some of those officers that add that kind of human component. I mean, before you get to the extreme in terms of really seeking to enforce, how do we get that into the minds, hearts, and souls of understanding that as part of the job description, it's not just about, hey, I become an officer, I now have the badge, I am the one in charge issuing the instructions.
Right, I understand. Well, it comes with training, it comes with experience. And this is why we are exposing our officers now to a lot of training. We are not there yet where we want to be, but this is why we have enforced that our officers attend training sessions. We have so if you look at it, we are now in the 21st century where the paradigm has shifted and policing has changed over the period of years, and we can't be doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So this is why we have, engage in all these activities in terms of now training our persons and, so that we could engage the public differently, because we realize just like how society, as we advance, society changes and, people expect a different level of policing. So this is where we are trying to, go with the times and implement those changes. So this is why you're seeing that now that we are focusing on that softer approach as well. Not just the coming out there and we lock up everybody. No. Policing has changed and we have to go with the changes.
All right. Any other critical areas you'd like to share before we close this morning?
I just want to urge the Tobago public. We know that the Christmas time is upon us, and we are urging you to be, just heighten your awareness. The criminal elements are watching, and your intervention could cause something from not happening, or when it happens, could provoke a response to that, could bring that situation under control. So you the public, we depend on you highly. And, we rest assured that we are there to work alongside with you. We are there to entertain your calls, and we are there to protect and serve you.
All right. You want to quickly just remind us of those, I know you referred to the emergency number, station, and so on.
Right. So we urge the public to dial 999, call 211, call 555. These are the major numbers that you can call. And when you call, you will get a command center that the person will take the information and dispatch it to where it needs to go. So, it tends to generate a quicker response. So when you do that, if you don't have the station numbers, call directly to those emergency numbers and you will get a quick response.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much there, Rodale Kirk, Superintendent of the TTPS, giving that reassurance and the confirmation in terms of the TTPS continues to work on the outside there to protect and serve. And more importantly, also getting that touch in the community to really connect with persons. Because folks, whether we like it or not, just like arms of service within the government and, and the protective services, they can't do it alone. We've got to work together to ensure, particularly going into this season, ensure that you do your part. Make yourself a hard target and not an easy target for the criminals and persons out there, because just as you are working as hard to do things honestly, they are also in the business of probably not working as hard and trying to use, not so good means. So we urge you to make the efforts, and if need be, you get to the extreme circumstances, use the emergency contacts in an effort to seek to get some kind of redress. I always like to give the simple indication. Try not to move out alone. Move in groups more than one. Simple things that we can do as part of it in terms of being able to respond to the challenges. And so once again, we want to say thank you very much for the TTPS continuing to bring those updates to us, and to each and every one of you continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show. We say thank you. At this point, we're heading on out to a break, but we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive Collection. Now exclusively available at Standard.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch Number 1, the building formerly occupied by Coastal. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at Number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, Building 1 and 2.
Suffering with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We been drinking with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
But this place so boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates. I am Adana Kambi, and we continue conversations in studio with our guests. We're talking about DXL Charity Olympic 2023, and in studio I'm speaking with Daniel Clark. He is a designer and owner of Fluorescent Black, and also Jamel Morton, owner of Empire Vehicle Spa, and these are young businessmen from Tobago, and we're talking about the Olympics. We're going to talk about exactly what this Olympics is about, who participates, and what we can expect coming out of it. Good morning, guys, and welcome to the show.
Morning.
Thank you for having us.
Right, so DXL Charity Olympic. When you hear Olympic, of course, you're thinking about sports. Am I right?
That's correct.
Right. So tell us a little bit about this Charity Olympic and what we can look forward to, exactly what it is about and what it entails.
Yeah, so the Charity Olympics is a networking opportunity as well as a relaxer opportunity for young entrepreneurs and persons in the industry, persons who are part of activities that the DXL brand has always been doing to, come together and just participate in sporting activities, things that just to allow you to just be a part and relax, yeah.
And it's also an opportunity to show that DXL is more than just a party entity, and showing that we can actually come together and do charitable work.
So this is a platform really for networking, because I mean it's businesses, right? These are for business people in and around Trinidad and Tobago, right, to participate in this event. So you're talking about networking opportunity, but you're also talking about charity. So this is like giving back to our society, the society that has helped to build us as entrepreneurs in this space, right?
Correct, is right.
Right. So how many businesses are participating in this event, this Olympics?
Well, so far, from what I heard Quincy, in terms of we have like 23 teams actually registered right now. It based from all party committees from Trinidad. I think this time you have Lost Tribe. You also have some NGOs on board, and they also have the young entrepreneurs, as I say, coming together. So it's 23 listed. Right. So 23 businesses from Trinidad and Tobago. We have people from Trinidad also coming up. Is this happening in Tobago? Yes. So they're coming across to Tobago, and if we're getting their party title, and we're talking about a sporting event. Correct.
And they always say that sport is something that can be used to bridge the gap, and that can eliminate things like crime and idleness and all these types of things. And it kind of brings that sort of unity where we have one focus, one goal, and we could just have some fun. Of course. Some competitive fun. So what kind of activities will be taking place in the Olympics? What type of sporting activities?
Well, traditionally, we are there from inception, more or less egg and spoon. You have the normal four-legged race. I mean, it's everything that is to do with a spin. So it doesn't be like the 50-meter sprint or 100-meter sprint.
Some element of surprise, right?
Correct, is right.
Because, I mean, it's events people, right? So, of course, the innovation would be there.
You must have a walk and wine.
Right.
to enjoy.
Right, so the traditional races, but of course with the events kind of element.
Correct.
So to bring the attraction. When is this happening?
It's December 16th.
Yes, December.
At the Boko Integrated Facility.
Correct.
Right, and it's an all-day event, of course. Is there a cover charge for persons who are not part of the business fraternity to enter, or is it are people who are not part of the business fraternity, of course, invited to participate and enjoy the event?
I don't think it have any cover charge.
Right.
It doesn't. What I believe we just have in terms of the entrance fee is just to actually bring cantons, can items and all them kind of things to actually distribute back to the communities or back to whoever need it, that kind of thing.
Of course, because it is a charity drive. At the end of the day, we
Yes.
want to give back, and we want to. I mean, December 16th is close to Christmas. People
Correct,
will be
exactly.
celebrating Christmas, and there are a few people who, of course, are unfortunate and don't have the resources for that time of the year. So that is a very, very. I want to commend you, young men, of course, for seeing that need and for not having just an event just for fun, but with a purpose behind
Correct,
it
exactly.
to ensure that you help families, you help communities as well with their need. So tell us, I want to talk a little bit more about the actual charity part of it. As you said, you're collecting cans, like canned foods.
Right. First of all, I always like to say charity begins at home. And if we want to be, in terms of the negative aspects or the negative push right now around Trinidad and Tobago, we have to be the change we want to see among society. So charity in terms of the cans is always a good thing in terms of bringing everything together. We pool all the resources and we distribute them accordingly. Daniel?
So is it that you're going to community? How do you select who you distribute to?
Well, I believe obviously we get feedback and messages from on the ground in terms of people in the communities who need it the most, and we do a footwork and we go out there and distribute after.
Right. I love to see young men, especially after we just celebrated International Men's Day on Sunday, the 19th. So this is very heartening to see that young men are taking an active role in our society and in our communities to help those who are less fortunate, because of course there's a negative narrative, and what we're trying to do is to change that negative narrative to be a support to our young men and to show them that you can excel in whichever area you are in and that you can make an impact. So I want to commend you guys for being here and for this initiative that you've come up with. 23 businesses from Trinidad and Tobago will be participating in the event there on December 16th, taking place at the Buko Integrated Facility, hosted by DXL. It's a charity Olympic event, so they're all the sporting activities that we know, the egg and spoon, the flat race, the tug of war, I suppose, would also be part of it. So all are invited to come out, and remember to enter. Walk with your cans, because we want to help some people who are less fortunate, who are unable to provide for themselves at this festive time of the year. So again, it's happening December 16th, 2023 from 5 p.m. at the Buko Integrated Facility. So one and all are invited. Is there anything you want to tell our viewers before we close?
Of course. To the wider masses of Tobago, we look forward to see you there. We look forward to everyone coming out, giving us our general support. This year I never won the event before because we actually have prizes. However, this year I come with a team ready, efficient to actually bring it home. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see my supporters there.
Awesome. I look forward to the outcome of this event as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we always want to say thank you for staying with us and for choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It's always a pleasure to have you with us and to be in your homes, on your phones, and your TVs, wherever you are listening and viewing with us. Of course, we're going to head on over right now to Tobago Notes. But before we go, remember to stay with us because we're speaking with Assemblyman Nigel Tate on GMT.
Sustainability and not so much about making a profit.
They have the role of fostering Tobago's small and medium-sized enterprises with growth support. And one such way the Business Development Unit does this is through Creative Tank. In this year's finals, 8 entrepreneurs had the chance to pitch their business models in only 3 minutes at the finals of the competition.
This year, because we've recognized the growth as well as the potential for growth in our tourism sector, we've expanded and focused on our tourism industry. This year, 17 participants would have entered the competition in the fields of mixology, recreation, tours, and promoters.
We want to see how much more creative you can be with your offerings and how you can now move your business in the most upscaled manner from where it is to where it needs to be. But most importantly, this is the THA giving a commitment that we are interested in supporting your business to the next level. What is that next level? Well, that's what we are anxious to see from today's installation of the program.
But only one person could be named the Entrepreneur Extraordinaire of 2023. In the end, this presentation got the judges' nods of approval.
Nylon pool tours, evening cruise, jet ski, anybody?
Nah, not today, brother.
Alright. Nylon pool tours, jet ski, evening cruise, anything today?
Nah, we good.
Where is this here, boy? Ross, I always seen you here. Anything today? Nylon pool tours?
Nah, I actually real good and I already have a booking with All Things Tobago. I mean my booking online. All Things Tobago is a digital marketing tourism agency where we create a digital experience of what a true vacation in paradise should be like, and we share that with our audience. Now, not only do we create that digital experience, we would have create a community with different businesses located on the island, and we generate business for them and assist them in creating an elevated service.
One of the things that showed up here today was a crisis of confidence. People were incredibly nervous in front of the camera. And one of the things that we have to build as we move and make our way in the world is the opportunity to stand up and talk, to sell ourselves, to sell our business, to sell our idea, to sell who we are. And so as you're operating in the niche of the tourism space, this becomes even more important because you're communicating to people who don't know you, who know nothing about the island. And so you need a stronger communicative presence. And that will come from you having confidence in who you are, how you are representing the island, and all of that will flow. There is no doubt that all of the 8 people here today were technically competent for the niche categories in which they operated. But in terms of some of the general skills, building out the marketing, figuring out some of the other things that come along with that, those are the things that we need to work on.
The Entrepreneur Extraordinaire walked away with $20,000, taking the prizes for Most Innovative Business, All Things Tobago, Most Promoting Business, JT Salt Life, and Most Engaging Entrepreneur, Cleon McPherson. Awards were also distributed to winners in each category. Tavier James won in the category of Mixology, Alphalea Telesford Recreation, Gideon McKellar Tours, and Cleon McPherson Promoters. Creative Tank is hosted by the Business Development Unit of the Division of Finance, Trade, and the Economy.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Beneath the Surface. I'm your host, Jerry McFarlane, and I'm coming to you from the beautiful studios of Tobago Update Television. And we operate right here in Scarborough in the Port Mall, in the lovely little island on the planet called Tobago. And this morning we have with us, as we continue our program, we have with us this morning Mr. Nigel Tate. And Nigel, welcome to the program. How are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm going fine so far. Let me say good morning to everyone. Those who viewing, good morning, good morning.
All right. As we say this morning, we continue with our series, or series 2, as we approach the 2nd anniversary of the elections in the Tobago House of Assembly. and we bring all the members of the assembly into the studio and have a nice chat with them. We talk serious things, we talk light things and so on, but we talk about their responsibility and how they see the assembly being used or operating in the assembly to make a big change in our community here in Tobago on this beautiful island. And it's a real pleasure to have somebody like Nigel here with us. He's the assemblyman for Signal Hill, Patience Hill, and he's the assistant secretary in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, Environment, and Sustainable Development. Nigel, what is what's your specific responsibility? We get that out of the way and so on. You're in a very important division.
Yes, I am a very, very, very important division with a lot of responsibilities. I'm the assistant secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. I'm given the portfolio to oversee the Fisheries Division.
Okay, yes, so that's your specific responsibility.
Yes, and also to render all the assistance I can to my secretary, Ms. Natisha Charles Panton.
And I could imagine, boy, she will need you, somebody like you, she will need your assistance almost constantly.
Well, when she needs my support, I'm there for her.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's available to provide you with some support as well.
Yeah, sure.
This important area of marine affairs, generally, marine related, but not fisheries really.
Well, fisheries, marine park, and things like
Marine
those.
park mainly.
Well, no, the entire fisheries division itself. Yeah.
Is with you or with the secretary?
Well, it's basically I oversees it, but the secretary is the person who is overall responsibility for the entire
fisheries
division.
and marine park is your thing?
Well, basically.
Yeah, all right. So that's out of the way, but we just want to make sure that we had your thing right and understand your responsibilities, viewers. And we want to have an idea, and the public want to know, who is this Nigel Teeth? Where you come from? For persons who just drop and they know about your history and what you used to do in Patience Hill and all this kind of thing and how you grew up and so on. Let's say you used to kick lime and breadfruit. I don't know how true that is. Maybe you could have that properly clarified. But which area you for the benefit of the viewing and listening public, where you grew up?
Well, I will give you the history itself, right? I was born in Signal Hill, right, as a youngster, and I migrated to Patience Hill, where I presently living right now. So I'm basically from the entire two villages, Signal Hill, Patience Hill. So I'm known amongst that area, right?
And your parents originated from that area as well?
Well, my mom originally is from Wim, and then she moved to Signal Hill, and my father, yes, is from Patience Hill. So, you know, my mommy thing and they leave and they go to Patience Hill to live with dad. And that's how I end up in Patience Hill.
But you have many other siblings or you're a lonely child?
No, I have a sister and I have a brother.
And they all grew up with you in Patience
Hill?
Yeah.
And,
we want to have an idea how you grew up, or what kind of challenges you had, whether you enjoyed just living in Patience Hill or Signal Hill at the time. What kind of, how you been brought up? Tell us something about your brought up, as you will say locally.
Well, I could give you more on my Patience Hill days. Right, I went to Teacher Yvonne Primary School. Right, no, prep school, preschool.
That's right.
Then I went on to Patience Hill Government School. There, there was a very athletic guys back in the day. I used to play football and cricket for Patience Hill Government School. I was a sprinter also. Right, and then I went on to Scarborough Secondary. There also I used to play football. I represented Scarborough Sec back in the days. I think I won a title with Dwight York, players like Nigel Davison and these kind of guys. Yeah, and then I went on to Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive. You know, and then I also participated in the under-16 tournament where I believe we had one out the Tobago zone. Also, from there, I went on to Mount St. George Youth Camp. I was the captain of the football team up there. I did plumbing, Then I went and played for Patience Hill.
Patience Hill United, you did the goal?
Yeah, Patience Hill United, where we won the cup in 1991. Yeah.
1991, all win the cup, all beat Stokelyville. I can't believe
that. Yeah. We
man.
The trophy that.
Patience Hill never get in trouble for Stokelyville to beat. That Plymouth team was a big team, you know.
Listen, back in the days, Patience Hill had the ripping players, you know. Everybody was fit and ready for the game. You understand? The football back then is something different from what we see now.
Anyway, my little knowledge of and knowing the talent of Stokely Vale on that Plymouth side, with that breeze and all kind of thing from the beach and 3 or 4 beaches and all kind of thing. I mean, it wasn't easy to beat that Stokely Vale side.
Yeah, but you remember Patience Hill is hill, so we always used to be running up and down, so we maintain our fitness through that.
You had to talk to Flabat about this thing, boy.
Yeah, Flabat was part of Stokely Vale back in them days too.
Yeah. You know, Flabat is a very dedicated fellow boy to football and coaching, you know, very committed, very disciplined, very precise. One of the few coaches, you know, outside of people like Sinclair and you know, and we should say a special hello to Bertil Sinclair for his role and his contribution to football and hockey and all and cricket.
Yes, let me also say that Bertil Sinclair also played a role in my upbringing also, because I was also a part of Sinclair Coaching School for a time when I used to go Signal Comprehensive, or secondary as they call it now. Right, so Bertil was my coach back then also, so I had part of him. So Bertil Sinclair is a very, very disciplined person, and it's persons like Mr. Sinclair that we are missing now in society in terms of discipline for the youths.
Yeah, boy. I used to be around that man and, you know, championing.
Yeah, he was a straightforward person.
Yeah. The level of discipline is something else. You know, he tried to pull up Dwight York when Dwight York went with Ashtonville and came back. Dwight York had a earring in the ears, stud in the ears, and that was a no-no for him. You know, and he and Dwight York kind of had it out for this earring he have in the ears and coming back and giving them people this idea that it's cool to wear this earring in the ear. The man was so precise and disciplined, boy. He is just a fantastic guy. You know, he's getting down in age now. Must really go and look for him one of these days.
Yes,
you know, I could imagine the impact that he himself had on you in bringing you up and having you involved and in security and that kind of thing and so on.
Yes. He played a very, very, very important role in my upbringing in terms of maintaining my discipline whilst playing football and whilst not playing football, because his words, you know, in terms of discipline and tolerance.
Inspiring.
Yes, it was very inspiring. Yeah, back in the day, you couldn't, you know, jet locks and them kind of, you're not tolerating them kind of thing. The same here in years, no. Not on Bertil Sinclair's.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your parents, because you seem to have some traits like you were really brought up by some serious parents as well and so on. You have a disciplinary outlook, you know, and a very organized outlook, or persona, as we will say.
Okay.
Tell us about your parents.
Okay, let me start from my mom. My mom was a housewife, right? She's the one basically that raised the entire family, plus used to raise other children in the same home, right? My mom was so focused that every morning we had a specific time we had to wake up. We must do a morning devotion before we do anything else. We read the Bible, say we prayers and whatsoever. Then we out and we clean the yard, we tie out the animals, do what we have to do, then we come back and we get breakfast and she prepare us to go to school.
All of that before you go to school?
Yeah, I mean, we had cow, all kind of things, so there were certain things that we just had to do before you go to school. Right?
And you had to reach the school early?
I have to reach the school early. Back then, Patience Hill Government School, I had to reach for 8. So I have to make sure I reach on time. So make sure to do all your home chores first, then you go to school. And mind you, there are some times on morning when we don't have no water, I don't want to tote water too.
In addition to these regular chores that you have to do?
Yeah, I mean, by 5:30, everybody household up. And we out, start the morning work. Now, my father my father was a fireman. Now, mind you, my both parents deceased, God rest their soul. My father was a fireman. Right? He also used to play cricket for Patience Hill. And he was...
What's his name?
Simeon Tate. Right? So he was involved in a lot of sporting. He used to play a little football too, you know. But he was a community guy. You know, everybody in the village...
Somebody who you emulate, right?
Yes, yes. He liked that. That's something he loved. He's a guy that liked to hunt. He liked to cook, you know.
Almost everything you're doing?
That's right. Just name it. My father was in that. He loved it. He used to play he used to play in the rhythm section with West Side. He used to play steel and thing. So I kind of gravitated more to his likeness and you know, that was just my father. And the memories of him now, you know, some of the things that he used to do back in the day, I'm seeing myself actually doing it now as we're talking.
Yeah. Based on what I heard and know, a little I know of you and what I've been hearing, you gravitated to that kind of thing, and which is well recognized and established in the community. It's not somebody telling you about making up stories about Nigel Tate. And this is what I like about, people like you, leaders who I consider leaders in the community, and people who inspire others and so on, and that contributed to a great extent to you having you won your seat against the leader of the other party in Tobago here. It was a significant, your grounding helped in a great way to convince people to do what they did, so you can't forget that. And, always like to look back or reflect on the impact or the influence parenting or the community had on these candidates or these leaders in community, not just in politics,
Yeah.
Because really, we epitomizes the saying where they say the community or village raise a child, and the community had to play an important part always. Somebody from the community outside of the household could have cut your tail or correct you or save you from some trouble and so on, and you can't go home and complain that this business one, so the neighbor beat you and that kind of thing.
You cannot do that back in the days. Back in the days, when people say that a village is the one who really raised a child, that is a very true statement. Because I remember sometimes, if my mom had to go someplace or anyway, I could have go by my neighbor, the Douglas and the next one, I could have get breakfast, lunch, anything. You understand? If we cooking and we run out of something, we could have asked any one of our neighbors and them for anything. But the youths now, they're not doing that. It's different. But the love that Tobago had, right, is something totally different to now. We are actually seeing a change, right? So what I'm trying to do, I just try to show them love, show them unity, show the youth unity. That's how I grew up, and that's what I know about being together, having fun, going river together, going on the beach, whatsoever it is, playing sports. You know what I mean? And I believe that is what really we need in terms of for the entire village to raise a child. It means everybody in the village.
Contributing doing things, doing positive things to enhance.
Yes, I could not pass nobody on the road and then tell them good morning long time. I had to tell everybody good morning. Everybody I see good morning on my way to school and back from school. Understand?
I just went downstairs in a little room downstairs, and I just this morning a while ago, and a fella just come in the room and just watch me shoot a schoolboy, just watch me and just go away like if we're leaving. I'm telling you, I had to turn back and say, good morning, sir.
But you know what?
And he just grumbled and say, good morning, and so on. I said, what in jail is this boy? Where this place really coming to?
If that somebody go, well, let me tell you. My dad wasn't the beating type. But you see, my mom, anytime you miss, better bottom dollar again, I cut tail. If she receive any information about we misbehave on the street or at school or whatever, nah, you're going to cut tail. If she tell you to do something and you ain't do that, better bottom line again, I cut tail. But my dad, he was so loving, he ain't beating you at all.
Caring, protecting.
Yeah.
But the mother making joke with her, the discipline.
Yeah.
But we want to get into your early job, your working life, and what you did. You say you end up at the youth camp. How was it like in the youth camp? A lot of people still talk about the valuable time and the valuable contribution that students who pass through the youth camp making in this society up to today.
Well, yes.
Somehow people see it as something that they went to there, had 2 years of specific training in a particular skill, and turned out to be serious professionals in the society and so on. How do you compare that today with what we have now? So many opportunities in school, people not grabbing them as much, especially on those kind of skills and those vocational training opportunities.
Well, I could
what the youth camp did that we're not doing now?
No, well, I want to give you an episode first. I could never forget my days in youth camp. My youth camp, I went in youth camp in 1990.
That is at Mount St. George? Or
Mount St. George Youth Camp in 1990. That was the same year of the coup. Right? Well, that year, the training that we had was from soldiers, military men. Right? Yeah, our soldiers just come up and actually trained us. And then we will have our facilitators who doing plumbing, who doing carpentry, who doing whatsoever. I used to do plumbing. Right? Why it's so memorable to me is that I remember we was on a break, and the coup, I was a little boy them time, a young youngster around 17 years, 17, 18, 17 most likely, you know, yeah. And when that coup take place, I was home, and well, we don't know what is coup, we don't know what going on and things, so I leave, and I go out the road, and we didn't get no cell phone at them time, and I come home, I come in home the evening, and I seen, once it a siren, I hear siren coming in, and I see some police jeep coming, and well, I was with a group of boys, and everybody started to say, "Boy, run, run, run!" And I started to run like a madman, end up in some people yard and all kinds of things. We didn't know what going on, you know. We didn't have an idea what the coup was taking place. Until when the jeep and them go on, we end up and go, and we reach home now, then we get to understand that there's a coup. So I'll never forget 1990, my time in youth camp. However, the amount of opportunities that it have now for the youths to gravitate to, right? Now's the time for them to take advantage of that. But most of the youths now, they're more interested in looking for early morning job, right? Nothing is wrong with that. But after you've done the early morning job, there are so many things that you could go and do. There are so many trades out there, so many simple work, people looking for persons to work right now. So I'm trying to encourage some of the youths in my area, and in Tobago on the whole, right? Go and look for a job. Go and look for a trade. If you're not being employed by the assembly, go and look for a trade. There are so many places that are looking for persons right now. And that's what I'm saying. And
I know some people, some professionals, engineers, lawyers, and even some doctors in private practice. Some of them, they people with the trades and skill and those contracting skills and so on are now making more money than some of the lawyers around the place, some of the doctors around the place, and so but people involved in those trades.
I can attest to that. I recently gave a guy a job to do some work by me, and the price that I had to pay for 2 days' work, I'm telling you, it's way beyond looking for 1 day work. Because the trade man is the one who actually making the money now.
They are in great demand.
Yeah,
they're in great
very,
demand.
very great demand.
Especially if they're very reliable.
Yes.
And trustworthy, you know, because there are some people like myself, I do want any and everybody in my place, you know, so some people come to scrutinize your place to do a job and make you feel comfortable and think when you're back to there's something else going on. You know?
But I would like to tell the youths of today, listen, there are opportunities out there now for you. Take it, make use of it. Go and learn a trade. It's for your own benefit. Go. Seek that opportunity.
Even those people those guys who drive in cars and like the fancy cars and things, the technology has changed so much. You could have your diagnostic tests and actually see what is wrong with the car, what is wrong with your sensors or something. Just doing the diagnostic work, you know, plugging in your thing and you see all the problems coming up on your screen on your device. You know, so people have to catch up with the times and learn to acquire some skill, especially for this day and age.
Yes, in this era, you need to have a skill. Trust me, you need it.
So the youth camp thing had a positive impact on you. It was a good learning experience and prepared you for the world of work.
Yes, it did. It did.
And now you move on to how you got involved in the port.
Okay, on the 12th of March 1992, I enrolled in the Port Police of Trinidad and Tobago as a constable. I spent, basically 30 years. I left as a corporal. Being in law enforcement and now is two different things. Back in the days on the port, right? I was serving, protecting, and protecting, right? Protecting means protecting the people and the assets of the port, and then I had to serve the public also. Now, being in politics now, I'm also serving the people. But the only thing I can do now, I cannot arrest and charge.
As you were doing when you were on the port.
Back on the port, I could have arrested someone and charged them. You know?
Yeah.
But
So-
the port also played a very important part in my life, because basically everything that I'm on right now, or whatever thing I've accomplished in my life, basically came from my years of employment on the port. And I want to thank the Port Authority for having me, and they all treated me well, and thank you so much. You know? Yes.
But the port then, I mean, those early days we had, I don't think we had much fast ferries then, or did we have
No,
no
we
fast
had
ferry
thing
at
like
that
the, when
time?
I joined
When you
was
just
the,
started?
was the MV Tobago and the Panorama. Yeah.
And you know, today somehow people still talking about those early vessels that we felt used to break down so little often and thing, and you know, people still feel there was so little, they were so reliable. But of course, the time it took, you know, and the combination of vehicles and passengers, they always felt that was the way to go. But fast ferry do a little bit of that in faster time, you know. But we moved to a different age where the fast ferry is the way to go, especially on a proper cargo vessel, which is a cargo star-like vessel, you know, where people think that that is the way to go. You know, so your time on the port was well enjoyed and a learning experience as well.
Yes. It was very, very, very enjoyed. Being in law enforcement is something that I have a passion for. Up to this day, I still tell myself, like, if I still doing port police work, because I still look out.
You had any
for
occasion on which you chop anybody or you caught anybody with guns or ammunition or anything like that? I have a partner on the port, you know, he good at that, you know. I want to call his name, you know, but you real good.
I was not going to answer that. That same person talking about and myself used to work together, but there are certain things I will not disclose on air due to the safety of myself and the other person. Right? But yes, I was involved in plenty of arrests, narcotics, firearms, you know.
Yeah,
I was involved
this man
in
here, I tell
many
you,
arrests like
he's,
that.
I don't know what kind of human being this man is, Mikoto. He used to watch people. One day I just sit down chatting with this man, and he there and just doing his thing. He said, Mr. Mark, just now, a woman with a child. The child have a knapsack on the back. And he might tell me just now, I deal with him. You know, you pull the child aside, talking to the woman nice and thing, the woman looking fidgety. You know, you go on the back, check off the thing from the child back and find something inside it that was not supposed to be on the child.
Mr. McFarlane, I could give you history on that port. You know. I could tell you this 30 years of children. I could tell you things that is unbelievable, where some of these criminals has tried to hide
stuff,
their stuff, and try to ship from Trinidad to Tobago. You know, the wealth of knowledge I have where that is concerned, and the training that I have also. I cannot call names on
Yeah,
air.
you don't call names, but
there
it's
are so
amazing
much.
how this particular guy, you know,
Yes,
used to just observe
and let me
how
say
people
something
walking.
about that. Let me say about that guy. That guy is very, very, very good. He can detect a crime based on how someone, the movements alone. You understand? Well, you know what I'm talking about. He is good.
I'm telling you,
He is
real
good. He is
clever.
He is good. That is a good guy.
But he's still in the port?
Yes, he still
Yeah.
is. Still there.
You must go and look for him sometime. But he's really good at what he do.
Yes.
And without any fuss, any pulling out gun and all kind of things.
Listen,
very calm,
this guy-
effective.
This
and
guy
serious.
have a passion for his job. And that is what we need, especially in law enforcement. You have to have a passion for what you do. Right? And having a passion for your job, it helps. That's the first step to help eliminate some of the criminal elements.
And he's not somebody that you could easily bribe.
No.
Not somebody that you could. He don't care who the hell you are. Long as he find that you in this stupidness and so on, he just pulling you aside and deal with you. And you're roughing you up and anything in public.
That
man
guy.
is something
Now
else.
I'm
Yes,
saying
man.
he's
A
very-
model man.
Yes.
Model security man. Model vigilant person. You know, somebody that the society should learn from. Quiet and easy. I tell you, Anyway, let me go on to
mind you, that was my batch too, eh? Yes. So
Yeah,
if I was
but-
still there, I'd be making what 32 years. 32 years
Yeah,
next year.
I was going to look for him, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to get to some assembly thing now. How you managing in the Tobago House of Assembly, and how you making out with the transition from this kind of experience, how you brought up, where you were trained, and you work on the port, you gather a lot of experience, you work in the community, and you transition that into politics. How was that kind of transition for you? Was it quite easy, or it was difficult? Or some people tell you, boy, don't get involved in that thing there, boy. Politics dangerous and thing. My relatives used to tell me in my days, but Jerry, you know where you're getting involved to.
Yes, of course, of course.
You had some of that?
Yes, of course. People tell me, Tate, why you resigning your job? Why you want to go into politics? Politics is not a healthy thing, and all them kind of things that person's told me. By the end of the day, the choice was mine. Right? I received a vision, so to speak, right? That yes, that politics, I have to go into politics now. Right? I had a dream, and that is what brought me into this. When I was approached by the then PDP party, I said, well, it was a challenge that I said, take it, give it a shot and see how it goes. And I took the challenge. I want to thank all the persons who assisted me in my campaigning and assisted me financially to be here. And I said, and at the end of the day, I was victorious. And I want to say thanks to my residents of my electoral district of St. Adel, Patience Hill, Orange Hill, Spring Garden, part of Union, part of Flambeau. I want to say thank you all. And I'm going to continue with my commitment to continue to do my best to serve to the best of my ability. Right? I cannot help each and every one, but I'm going to help. Right? I'm going to stay on the ground with you guys. What look like I can assist with, I'm going to continue to do my best. Right?
How you operationalizing it now? You have people, well, you don't need to have more than one district office. You have more than one.
I have one.
One district
in
office.
Signal Hill.
Signal Hill, and that serves both areas.
Yeah, Signal
and the area is
yeah.
a concentrated area in terms of population.
Yeah.
But you know, like in some of the areas like that Plymouth Blackrock area that is so wide, you know, with that number of persons, you know, Signal is more ambitious, a little concentrated.
Yeah, we were more together, you know, more compact.
More compact, yeah. But how you operate? You just have one person in the office. How you deal with complaints coming from people and that kind of thing? You know, you have some problems even up to today where assembly people getting complaints from the thing and assemblymen are responding to them. You know, how you dealing with these things? What you have in place to ensure you have every complaint attended to?
Now I have a strategy, right? And my strategy is that I have 5 persons working in my office. I have 3 leaders be out on the field, and I have 2 that remain in office. Added to that, I have my brother, my loving brother. He and some of my friends, them also do ground work for me. Them always on the ground. So it come like if I am on the ground. So all information that I need to get, them go out and collect all information and bring it back to the office, and there's where I treat with it.
So you have it documented in the office, specific information,
yes,
specific complaint?
Proper data been taken and it is recorded in my office at present.
And you have an action thing to know, well, listen, this has been pursued and this responded, and eventually you have this marked off and say completed or dealt with?
Yes. I have an efficient staff, and they're on top of the game where that is concerned. If I call now and ask them for so and so, information about whatsoever person or whatsoever information I need about an area, I just call the office and I'll get that. If I don't, or them don't have the information, what I do sometimes, I leave my vehicle, right, with one of the person in the office who does drive. So them will use my vehicle while I'm at Melserve in the office working. Them will use my vehicle and drive around the district or the area in which the complaint came, and they will go and check it out for me.
But what I'm mainly concerned about, and what the public does be concerned about, is the action. You're not going and sit and record it in the office. You know, what action have you taken? How you get responses? If it's a matter for the Secretary for Works to do, or that division, what kind of response you're getting from your colleague in works or the secretary for works.
Okay, I'll be honest. I will be very honest with this statement, right? Most of the problems that I've encountered within my district is like the same, like potholes in the roads. Person may want brace walls. Person may want access to their homes, look at driveway and thing, right? I have documented everything, and everything was sent forward to the relevant authority. We'll put it like that, right? But if there is work in the district that I can do, I also have a team of guys that work with me. We call ourselves patient helping hand, right? We go around, and if there's a drain to clean, we will clean a drain. If there's a yard, somebody want the yard to cut, we'll go cut the yard for them, right? Somebody wants assistance with the house, like how we grew up long time, somebody build a house, we want to mesh and we cast, we mix up the concrete and thing. That's the kind of guys I have does be with me.
But you provide just the labor, or just the labor and material if necessary?
No, if the person, them are to provide the materials, of course, and then I will come with my guys and we provide the labor. But about like drains to clean that works, or URP or whoever I'm supposed to be doing that. If we get the receive information that is a clogged drain, then we know and the time frame in which the response we may get. My boys will do the work and just ease it up one time so the people can live comfortable. You know, so that is kudos to my team. The guys are person like my brother Slogo, Woodsy, Stafford, and Biza, and these guys, you know, Brendan. You know, and then I have a guy named Donald with us now. He's basically he's the driver. So I have a good team, a pretty okay team. Some of the guys is from Signal also. Like Mr. Trim, he comes in and he also do some beautiful groundwork for me also.
Right.
So I'm
I
coordinating.
would just like to suggest to you
yes.
that you just record those things, video
Yes,
record
yes.
all those complaints, especially those that you have effected and corrected and so on. So you have them for your records for people to see.
Well, if you was in the town hall, you would have seen some of the recordings that we personally did whilst we were actually assisting in the projects in my area. So yes, they are there.
Yeah. Okay. I want to move on to some of your specific responsibility, and that has to do with is it marine areas and fisheries, or just marine areas?
Well, marine and fisheries. Well, the entire fisheries division, whatever the fisheries division falls under, whatever their portfolio is, that's me.
Yeah. And what are some of the areas or some of the challenges with respect to the let me start with the marine areas.
Okay, well, at present, the Boko Reef Marine Park is a protected area, right? Some of the challenges that we have is that the reef operators, right? Now, I'm not saying anything bad about them. Everybody had to work, do their work, right? But we're having some challenges.
Some of them damn notorious. Are you afraid to say that?
No. I wouldn't say that.
I just mix matters in them kind
I
of thing.
wouldn't say that.
Some of them real stand up for good standards and so on. We as the Book Reef Trust has been involved in training them over the years. As a matter of fact, at one time we were hired by Tourism Division to do training programs for these reef tour operators.
Well,
most of them come to the training and so on, and sometimes they just
Well,
some of them
well
really
for
look
me,
at it, you know.
for me, my experience with them, there have been cooperatives thus far, right? But we still do have challenges at times where we have some of the vessels being overloaded.
I
Right?
just got to mention that is a
Yes,
serious issue,
yes, yeah.
and not just the overloading. You know, is the overloading and not having sufficient life jackets.
Well, I was trying to get to that.
All right, okay, continue.
So once these vessels are overloaded, right? Now we have to think about the safety of the passengers first, because if something had happened to one of these vessels and it overturned, does these vessels have enough life jackets for those persons that are not within the limit? If you are catered for 60 and you have 70 or more, how are you going to treat with the excess persons on the vessels? So this is one of the challenges we also have. Another challenge we also have is the pollution, right, in the marine park also.
But listen, though we can't overlook that or spend a few seconds on that issue. It is a very serious issue.
Yes, it is.
We discussed that with the secretary already. We discussed that with some legal people in Chief Secretary office. If you see we have one issue, it was bad enough to see two people fighting from these reef tour operators.
Yes, it
and
was.
so on.
It was
Up to now,
not
the
nice.
police take action against them. Because you know what they're saying? They're saying that the police, they just get the police turtle, so they may go bother with police, they are no time with us and them kind of thing. That is the kind of thing you have to deal with. That is out there now. But overloading. If you see one, you know how much money the THE had to pay some years ago. Somebody in Pigeon Point, they jump boat or something, go over the person, almost kill them. Thousands of dollars the THE had to pay for compensation.
Yes, sir. And as you just said, someone drove over someone. I'm also pleading to the jet ski drivers or the jet ski operators. Please, the marine park, right, is for jet skis. You could traverse through the marine park. You cannot be in the marine park doing 360 and up and down and around. You cannot do that. It is illegal. It is against the policy of the
marine park itself, you know, is a big area, you know, yes, but maybe other specific area.
Yes, we do. It is marked. The marine park is marked out with boys. It is marked out.
Yeah, but the extent, the geographical thing of the marine park starts quite in Buku and come quite back to Ketchup Reef, right on the other side of Store Bay.
Yeah.
That is a big area that is the marine park, designated. Right. You know, but I know what you're talking about, those area in the Coral Reef area and the Island Pool area. You know, that is where the problem is. And even with some of these jet skis, I shown a picture of a jet ski coming to the boat with the passengers. Coming to ask them if they want a jet ski ride and so on. Everybody said no because they were taken up with what the fellas on the boat was telling them about the reef and so on. You man pull down the pants, take out the penis and just shake it for them and so on, you know, and go on. You could imagine that? This is stage where we reach the level of ill discipline, you know, in a very sensitive sector like the tourism sector.
Okay, let me just
and they take a picture of it and they send it to them.
Let me just say this, right? I'm pleading to all reef operators, be it the boats or the jet ski operators or whatever vessel you may want to use. Please bear in mind that safety comes first. If you are about to traverse through that area, make sure each and every one have a life vest in case the person fall off a vessel.
Important.
Or your jet ski, that person will stand a chance of surviving. I am pleading to all reef operators, jet ski operators, pirogue operators, be it marine park or whatsoever. If you are going out to fish or whatsoever, make sure that you all have a life vest and all the safety equipments on board. Please, I'm begging.
And I want to see publicly that I'm not satisfied with the level, the way in which the police has been handling this issue, with the two fellas who fight in the presence of tourists and local people on two boats, the reef tour operators' boats. Up to now, they know the names of the people. Not one action is being taken. They're even calling the people and warn them and so on. The secretary had time to write the people, apologize for the incident and so on. But the police to take action or the necessary people to take action, whether it's police or Coast Guard, nothing has been done. I cry shame on them for that. We had to set some example. People had to know this is the consequence of your action or inaction, especially when coming to these things. You're out in the sea where it's no branch and you're behaving and you're fighting just for the public.
Let me say this right. At this point in time, we have Mr. Barry Lovelace. He's the manager of the marine park right now. And we are having regular meetings with the stakeholders of the marine park. And we will be drafting out adding some new policies onto the policy that is there already, where we'll be looking at erect signs of the do's and the don'ts and some of the things to assist us, because we don't want to lose our tourists or bring our tourist industry into any kind of disrepute just because of persons who are not adhering to the rules and regulations. Right? So we are working on that at this point in time, and Mr. Barry Lovelace is a very competent person. I don't know if you know him.
You're telling me Barry Lovelace worked with us at the Book Reef Trust for a number of years.
Very knowledgeable, yes. He knows he knows his work, and I will say kudos to him. I'm learning a lot from him also. Right? So we are trying to put things in place to help control that marine park at this time. Right?
There are systems you could put in place as well to, like we did it at the Book Reef Trust for the division many years ago. We got the buoys, the boys, and so on. The company in Pennsylvania, I think it was, that told us that make these buoys, and you know they have a special way to have the thing inside it that the thing will be lean on one side, you know, and you put your rope through and you attach your rope to it so that you don't have to throw anchors on the reef.
Okay.
You know, the division was supposed to maintain it. Well, like a couple of years now, the division never maintained it. We still try and maintain it. We set it up. We get it in at half price. We get retail to let the division pay us back for it. You know, but we need to have some strong and people there who could really talk to the guys seriously and let them know the consequences of the action, that the people going to take it seriously. And you need to set up some serious entity. You know, it's not just a little committee or Barry Lovelace and a little team like yourself and other people just trying to coerce these people into good behavior and good standard practices. That is good in one sense. But with this kind of community that we live in the Tobago here, you have to take appropriate action. Set your standards, let them know some of the do's and don'ts, and let them know the consequences of do's and don'ts. And I hope we have some serious police to police and take appropriate action when it's necessary.
Well, we have the mine unit on board with us. Once we need assistance, we normally reach out to them, or we will call it the nearest police station, which is Shervan, if we need any kind of assistance at all. Right? So we does get a little support from the police. Once we call upon them, we will get that kind of support.
Yeah, the police will come and so on. And if anybody gain the police and them turtle, nothing coming out of that. The police will come. I'm telling you, the police will come when you call them. But to say they charge them and carry them to court, not a bloody thing will happen. Based on my experience.
Please note, I did not say that.
I'm telling you, I
have no knowledge of that.
The police, I have asked them, every senior officer come here. The only policeman over the years that I can remember who did something serious about this situation with the reef and them touts and all that kind of thing is Inspector Glenn Dillon. He's as ACP Glenn Dillon, I think he retired the other day. When he was inspector and we had problems down there, it's Glenn Dillon who get all of them touts and things organized in a particular way and deal with them in a serious way. All them other policemen that follow in that area have failed us miserably. I'm disappointed. Most of them.
But I could tell you that I'm here now, right? And I just get full support from the police on them. Once I call them, they does respond. They do come and respond.
None of them may charge the two of them fellas for that kind of behavior. They have a weapon in their hand. They're fighting one another almost.
I don't know if investigation is going on into that incident, so I cannot make any kind of comment on that. But the police, I will leave the police to let the police do their work.
Yeah, but we like to, you must push them sometime, and sometimes if you have to embarrass them, you embarrass them. They're not doing anything because the two fellas said that there's getting police turtle.
Listen.
And they can't do nothing.
No. Let me just say this, Mr. Brother McFarlane. Remember, I came out from law enforcement agency, right?
I know that.
So I cannot say certain things, and I will not say certain things. And
you know, you want to say it.
Well, I'm not. I
I'm just bringing to your attention. These are some of the issues.
Yes, I know. But I cannot
all hands have to be on
respond
deck.
the way you are
It's not
responding.
you alone. It's not you alone and your division had to do this. It raises the whole point of effective collaboration and working with the different entities.
Right.
But if one of the entities is not doing their work properly or effectively, you will have challenge still. The burden will fall back on you, and the relevant secretary for tourism or agriculture
it will fall back on me.
Come and apologize profusely to the entity where these passengers saw all this.
Right.
This
But and that's
fight,
what you're saying.
you
And that's
know?
what you're saying. But I remember what I'm saying, right? That once I call upon the TTPS, I just get a positive response from them. And I will continue to call on them whenever I need their service or their assistance. I'm going to continue to call on them. Because so far they have been giving me full support.
As long as they get in their turtle,
They have been giving me full support thus far.
All right.
And I'm going to continue to call on them. Not only them, but the Coast Guard also. Right?
Okay,
Once
all
they have
right.
a vessel, I will continue to call on them.
Well, as you realize, this is more than a passion to me.
Yes.
I know the resources that we have at that place. As a matter of fact, right now we have a project. We got a donation from the reef building blocks, coral building blocks, to establish at the different points on the reef where we're going to be transplanting corals where the corals dying and so on into some of those areas on the reef. You know, it's a very serious exercise. We're planning it properly. We discussed it with the secretary and Barry and these people, and we're forming a team to do this thing. The thing is well secured on the port, those blocks. And it's a major exercise, transplanting some of these corals that died, whether it's from black band or yellow band disease, you know, or whether the different diseases, for whatever reason. Some of them overcome by, you know, they lose all the corals in the thing, and the zooxanthellae, or whatever you call it, is disappearing and just die off. You know, we have serious diseases, and some of it have to do with pollution and that sort of thing.
That's right.
But one of the things that you must do, in my humble opinion, is that you need to look at reefs and reef systems, even in the Caribbean. I had my little tour of that quite a few times, from Costa Rica, from even St. Lucia. So a little thing in Jamaica where they call a reef. You know, I didn't want to laugh among the people and them, you know, but it's nothing close to what we have here, except with the exception of maybe Costa Rica. You know, our reef systems here are one of the best in the region. And we have to find a way to protect this special resource that we have. You know, all these things, the reef systems do contribute to a fantastic dive sites, an opportunity for divers to come and see different species of coral and that sort of thing. You know, we had to treat the thing with the value that it deserves. We had a study done by Loretta Burke from the World Conservation Union or something like one of those places, did an economic study to show the value of our marine resources, particularly Bucca Reef. Some $200 million or something like that. You know, the value of it to the economy, how people come here and go there, the kind of research that could be done, and so on. We have people coming here testing, a fellow from Newcastle University, we facilitating come here and doing the research on the age of coral, doing carbon dating, testing them to see whether this coral look about 200 years old. We did one 200, 300 and something years old.
Let me just touch on this as you're on this topic here, right? Urging persons also who use the Bucca Marine Park and all the reefs within Tobago. We are having a shortage of the parrotfish, some of us call the chubfish. We're asking persons to please do not interfere or shoot out or spare them. Leave the fishes in the reefs alone. Also, the removal of some of the corals. Do not remove the corals from the reefs in Tobago, right? So I'm asking persons who use that to please leave whatsoever you see there, leave it there.
That is extremely important, but there's no legislation, not even a policy document to say, well, listen, you can't prevent me from moving coral or shooting the parrotfish. In other areas outside of the Bucca Reef that is protected.
That's why I said.
So that is where your cajoling and your advice, you know, must be firm and just try to get them to understand the value.
I said, besides, remember we talking about the Bucca Marine Park, that was said within the reefs of Tobago. If you could avoid it, please do avoid it, because we are seeing we having a depletion in these sort of fishes.
It is very important, and people don't know the value of these reef systems and these dive sites that we have on this island, the varied species, even our birds. Man, all natural environment here is so unique, and so on. And this is what inspires me to do a lot of the work that we set out to do in the beginning, and we're still following up with it, you know. But you should just, I'm encouraging you, look around in the region, go and take a look, St. Lucia, SMA or something like that, St. Lucia, something Marine Park. You know, you go to Costa Rica, I tell you that they're serious about that kind of thing and the environment, you know. You will see a hotel in a rainforest, in the middle of a rainforest, you know. But the hotel is done in a particular way. It is standing out as no eyesore, you know. You should see some of these things. In Cuba, you see a hotel on a river. Not in the river, but over a river, you know, and people pay how much money just to go to see this thing and to spend some nights there over this river. You could fish and you understand. But look, there's so much opportunities to do with tourism, utilizing or marine or environmental resources that we can do to help build an economic environment around these areas. You look at places like Brazil, 200 1,000 divers just be waiting to go all over the place to see the reefs and so on. We could find a way to attract people here to enjoy these marine resources. And don't forget what do you call it, rainforest, oldest in the Western Hemisphere, you know.
That's right.
So, partners, I say that we need to do a lot more, and we need to have all the collaboration that we can with all the sectors, all the people involved, and ensure that they do whatever they have to do. And most important, in my humble view, is that you set up an entity that has some responsibility, whether it's a company or a big NGO attached to the division, which well-resourced, and working towards protecting these valuable natural assets that we have. Anything like that they want to do, we could be assisting them or suggesting things to them. And first, let them go around and see how reefs in the region are protected. St. Lucia and all these places, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Carriacou, all these places. They protect the thing. They lock you up if you're doing stupidness. So they just lock you up, put you in a boat and just carry you in, seize your boat, all kind of thing. They treat that thing seriously. And they have half the resources that we have here in Tobago. So I want to suggest that you all look at this thing. You collaborate a lot with the relevant agencies. Don't do anything without collaborating.
No. Well, we do a lot of collaboration with the tourism industry where the marine park
I
is
still want to
concerned.
encourage you in spite of the problems that, you might be having also. And, we do have some structured approach to put in, a system in place that could be very effective. And what programs you have, I should ask? For example, getting the school children out there or people looking at the thing from a young age. I think that maybe is a long-term plan to get our young people more involved. Having maybe a competition, write something about the Bucca Reef or the reefs of Tobago.
I could see what I've been doing.
Stimulate interest in this thing from the young people and hope it will influence the elder generation.
In my district at present, right, I've engaged the service of a teacher, right, and right now she's helping some of the students who basically kind of, who's kind of slow, assist them in their schoolwork, in their homework, right? And I will use this opportunity now to tell persons within my district, if you all have any student that is in standard 4, standard 5, and they need assistance, you could come by the office, have a chat with the ladies there. You could put down the child name and your name and a contact number, and I can enroll you all to come and do some evening classes with a teacher who had volunteered the service for free to assist these students who need help at this point in time.
General help, or are we talking about reef or like
No, I'm
help?
speaking general. It was school work, not about the reef. The reef, Mr. Barry Lovelace, of course, he's the person in charge of that, and I know he's doing a very good job. What I can do, I could talk to him and ask him if he could create a system where we can have students, right? Students get students involved in learning more about the marine park. So I could engage Barry Lovelace and have a conversation with him where this is concerned.
Yeah, I think a good competition, writing a composition or something on the reef.
Yeah, we'll talk to Barry
some
about
good prizes for that. That is one way.
talk to
Have a
Barry,
photo
yes.
competition as well.
I'll talk to Barry, and I'm sure the secretary will love that too.
You have a competition, let all in schools take part, and you have some good prizes. Let even some of the community and some of the business people in the community donate prizes for them in different areas. Bird watching. Oh gosh, don't talk about bird watching. So, how long are you talking to them?
Well, as I talk about bird watching, recently I was on a tour up at Little Tobago with Mr. Darren Henry. He's the acting director for us right now.
Very knowledgeable.
Oh, I just got to say that. Very knowledgeable guy. He knows plants, he knows trees, he knows birds. Watch me. Thumbs up to Mr. Henry also. Very knowledgeable guy,
I think we're getting the thing to wrap up.
Okay.
But I just want to suggest that, you just have a team of you go to some of the places right in the region here, looking at the reefs, how they protect it,
Yeah.
the security arrangements, how they monitor it, and so on. That is one thing I would like to suggest. The other thing is that you have a competition among school children, primary and secondary schools, do a composition, write a piece on our reefs or dive sites,
Yes,
or environment, or birds, or one particular bird. Let them do that, or
I'll
have
take- I'll take heed of your
photo
idea. I
competition
will.
as well.
Mhm.
That in itself will stimulate interest among young people. You see the impact the World Food Day, like that kind of thing, will have on young people.
Which was
You
very
see how much
good.
thousands of children just come out to see that and see little plants grow, give seeds from seedling to big thing, how a yam will develop, how big a yam is. They get a little lecture on how you could dig out the
Brother
yam and so
McFarlane,
on.
listen to me carefully. I will take your idea and I'll take it to Barry, and trust me, you will hear about it.
Yeah.
And if possible, if I don't do any recommendation, I recommend that you be one of the judges. Better one of the judges. So
It'll be difficult to do that, but I just can't help.
yes,
I just be
ideas
so blown
taken.
away about our natural resources in this place
Yes,
and
yes,
how it
yes.
is not very well protected and how we're not capitalizing it, capitalizing on it by bringing people here to see this lovely thing. When a man could leave Newcastle in England,
and come
down here and want us to assist him in determining how old some of these reef systems are. How old is this particular type of coral? You must understand how people looking at Tobago and valuing it. He could have gone to Costa Rica or someplace in
or some
Australia
other island,
and do it.
but they
decide
come to Tobago. Sweet Tobago, the best
Tobago.
island on this planet.
Some
Tobago.
52 dive sites and all kind of thing. Well, you ever go to washing machine and this place in Speyside, bookends and so on, and dive and see the kind of thing that you've seen under the water? Beneath the surface, I should say.
Beneath the surface.
Beneath the surface, boy,
Yes,
your
yes,
environment
yes,
in that water is just amazing. Washing machine, bookends, Japanese gardens, down on this side, Ketchup Reef. I mean, not as nice as some of those areas up on the north, off Culloden. Oh boy, I tell you.
Yeah.
Amazing. We have to do something to protect all those reefs. And that is why it's important to create an entity that involves doing all this thing and have it go to Parliament and let them just like how the Parliament have this act. The what do they call the act again? The Marine Areas and Enhancement Act of 71. I can't remember what the year it was. But the Marine Areas, it protects the reef. And this is the only protected marine park I know that you do have this standard of maintenance and promotion and due diligence that is required for a reef. We really have to up our game and do something. I'm willing to assist in any possible way. This thing is my passion. I dive, I see the thing, I see the dangers, I see the diseases that affect the thing.
Okay, I didn't know you was a diver too.
Yeah, all this thing, you dive and you see all
Well,
this thing.
we
I
could
don't
have
do it very often.
What we could do, we could have a conversation offset. Right? And then we could try to put things in place, because it seems that you also have a wealth of knowledge.
Barry have much more knowledge than me. Barry been trained in that area.
Well, right.
We train Barry too.
Well, you see?
So Barry is no joke person.
No.
It's just that
man real knowledge.
he's extremely resourceful.
He knows his work.
And very, very resourceful. And don't play with people like Darren Henry and my partner in Speyside who does birds. Newton George. When you say they have international conference, whether it's normal tourism conference or a bird watching conference, if you see people will surround, hundreds of people will surround this man, Newton George, asking him about bird watching and number of birds and things in this island. And we are for island, we have the highest density of birds in any other place you could find as an island. Bird density on one particular island. We are one of the highest, I think the 5th highest in the world in terms of bird density. And some 1 or 2 indigenous birds just only known to this island and this region. So we really need to do so much and understand the value of this thing. Orville London always tell me, Jerry, we have to understand it before we start to love it and protect it. And that's the fact. People have to understand the value of this thing, before you start to tell people how to love it and take care of it and put the necessary framework in place to do that. Always remember that. Always learn that. So, partners, this brings us to the end of the program. I hope I didn't bore you, and I hope I didn't bore you visitors with my long diatribe maybe of this whole issue, but one of these days we really have to do a special. Maybe I have to invite Barry and some other people. And George and Darren, you know, to come and let me explore this thing publicly to understand the value we're talking about here today. You
Yes,
know,
and I would say yes, because I believe that those are the technocrats in these areas, you know, so them will have a more wealth of knowledge, so they can, your rapport will be much different from the one we had a little while here.
People like Derek Chung
was sharing
Derek
it.
Chung and Big Doggy.
Big Doggy, yes. Big Doggy,
would
very
take-
excellent
oh,
diver.
boy, I
Yes,
tell
yes,
you.
yes.
When they have people, secondary school children from Trinidad, QRC and all these schools, coming to Tobago to learn to dive.
Yeah.
To learn to scuba dive.
Yeah, Big Doggy,
People
is
from
very good.
secondary schools, you know, coming to Tobago to learn how to scuba dive. You're telling me this thing? and we
Alvin
sit down here.
Douglas, bye.
They had to make big noises of it when we had a big program to go on the reef and taking the school children out to the reef. They said they have a policy some umpteen years ago because children are not supposed to go on the reef or any river because somebody drowned in Trinidad and all kind of crap. You know, so I tell him, I said, we are a serious organization. We're taking them with the teachers out on the reef. We have lifeguards and all this kind of thing. People could swim and so on and things. Until the program really came to an end. For lack of resources. So, partners, thanks again for coming. I really appreciate you. I understand the challenge that you're going through, but you know, we want to make everything that happens on this island a big success. And there will be challenges, and you have to find a way to deal with the challenges. It makes everybody happy in the long run.
Before I go, right, I just want to thank all the fisher folk and all the fishing associations in Tobago for your continued support, and I hope that in going forward, that we are going to do what is right for the benefit of all fisher folk and stakeholders in Tobago. I also want to say thanks to my residents of my electoral district of St. Alpatient and Sill. You all just hold on, things will happen. Those who need help, things will be happening very soon. And also look out for me for this for my children Christmas toy drive. And I'm here. My number is easy to reach. My office is always open. Reach out to me if you all have any challenges within the way. Christmas is coming. I know plenty of persons will try to reach out to me for certain things. Now's the time to reach out to me. Thank you, Tobago. Thank you.
All right. And tomorrow morning, God's willing, we'll have Terence Baines, the representative assemblyman for Bethel, Newgrange, in the studio. Terence Baines, I hope he could, at least I hope the producers could allow him to do two gospel songs on the program. I'm sure you have a lot to do and so on, but this man is just great of creating these lovely gospel and even some political songs. We hear a little bit about Terence Baines on that. So look forward to that tomorrow. That will be an interesting program as well. See you next week, people. Have a lovely day, a lovely week, and a productive one. Let us all try to change the level of standard in which we operate in this place and become a much more productive society. Many opportunities going past us because we're not as productive as we should be. You know, we have to put some of the politics aside and just be more productive. Just do things, just be more accountable. You know, just be a good example of an agent for change in this place. See you next week. See you tomorrow, God's willing. Have a lovely day.
Thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.